fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests and our president. My story of home computers begins, in fact, a few years before it even began, 40 years ago. 40 years ago, I went to Paris with my children, and my daughter was 10 years old. And one day she came to me and told me, I don't know how to resolve that mathematics problem. I don't understand. Okay, no problem. I was very good at mathematics. I'll help you. And I looked, and I didn't understand anything. The teachers at that time in France, where we lived, believed that the future is of computers. And at that time it was big computers, and that all children has to learn how to speak to computers. Because the computer is dumb and doesn't know anything else than plus or minus or closed and open, 0 or 1. So they begin to teach them how to calculate with 0 and 1. And how to make a structure that belongs here, that doesn't belong there, and so on. So I bought a book which was called Mathematics for Dad. I was not a dad, but I had to help them. And I understood a little bit enough to help my daughter, but mostly I was attracted. What is that computer? So I began to study about it a little bit. I have not had a diploma or study for 15 years at that time. I was with my children and working, and I went to a school, I paid for a school who taught me in the evening and by correspondence about computers, and I gave a diploma at the end. I didn't know that, but it was like a level, 14-year children level. But I have to tell you, that diploma, which I get in 1972, was what I am the most proud of. Because after 15 years, I proved to myself I still can study. So from then on, I went further, and I was able to finish my PhD in chemistry, because I knew I can do it. I can study again. And then I went to America. And in America, for the first time, I could put my hands on computers. It was not the computers in really, because the computers were far away still in a big room, refrigerated, but we could access terminals, they called, from and write, and they send it to the computers, and then we went in the evening and we could take the printout eventually. But I learned a little bit. And when I went back to France, instead of chemistry, I became teaching computers. And then is by chance, I discovered Apple II. That was the first home computer. And the whole world, new world opened to us. We believed, Steve Jobs, that we will change the world. But we had no proof of it. But we knew that it's so much different to have a computer at home and to play with it and to do what you want and not far away somewhere to a big company. So we believed one day we will be able to speak to it, to draw on it, to do many things. There were so many people wanting to do that for almost nothing. Most of the young people and me worked for not much. because we had enthusiasm and we did believe it. And so, still, here, that is my first book I wrote about computers. PostScript was the laser-writer's language, and I still believe we'll have to learn the language of the machine in order to program it. But then Atkinson came, who worked with Steve Jobs at Apple, and gave something which was called hypercar. I wrote a second book about it, which helped the rest of us all to program our computers, to tell it very easy, just making a field, making a draw on it, and it was more easy to access it. So it was wonderful. I did visit what is here, beautiful as it was printed at that time, to explain how you can make even color images, which was for us wonderful, and to listen. Nowadays, of course, we went farther away, and you can take a small thing like the iPad and have an image on it, and you can even speak in it, and it recognizes your voice. My son gave me that 2 weeks ago and showed me how you can speak. He spoke English, recognized his voice, and wrote it in English. And then, because he knows very well French, he was born in France, spoke French, and the machine recognized it. Wonderful! Voice recognition, we dreamed for it long time, and then I spoke. What do you think came? Gibberish. They didn't recognize my English, then I switched to French, didn't recognize my French either. Then I thought, okay, I will speak Hungarian. But there was no Hungarian recognized in the computer yet. Sometime the computer will recognize even me speaking.